Good afternoon and welcome to Chargers Outside Zone. I'm Chuck.
I'm Thomas.
And today we are doing a short episode.
Yes.
Latest NFL offseason news. We've had a couple of significant happenings over this week. We wanted to get this episode out as quickly as we could.
Yes.
And just get it out into the YouTube
Well, I wanted to.
world environment.
So,
All right. Let me remind the folks, this is a father-son hobby where we focus on the team building the Los Angeles Chargers. In the offseason,
we
do some stuff.
do.
And in this case, it'll be a short one on the latest news. We are not experts. We
So
don't talk
don't
about
take
gambling
our
or betting.
Opinion.
And we stay away from hot takes. And with that, we will jump into the latest news. What do you want to talk about?
So, D-Hop.
DeAndre Hopkins. I have heard of him.
What's your opinion of D-Hop in the Titans?
My opinion of DeAndre Hopkins signing with the Tennessee Titans, the first thing comes to mind is he is not chasing rings. He is chasing money. Yes. And he signed a decent contract, which if that was his goal, then good for him.
Good for you.
So first things first, I don't think he's chasing rings. I think he's chasing the money. He does make the Titans better, but the way in which he makes the Titans better that is most important in my opinion is the Titans have two very young wide receivers, Treylon Burks and last name Kyle Phillips, I believe it is. Slot guy. You know, the Titans had Robert Woods, so they had a veteran presence in there. I don't know how much they were able to pick up from Robert Woods in year one. Now that they're in year two, Robert Woods was gone, so there was no veteran in the room.
All right. Yep.
And so that he brings that veteran presence. Obviously, he will be a safety blanket for Ryan Tannehill.
Or whoever the quarterback.
Or Will Levis. He can definitely help with Will Levis's development or Malik Willis's development. So I think he got the money. I think it's a good deal for the Titans because they get better in a couple different ways on and off the field as a team.
Okay. Here's my thoughts. I think it's good on the case of you replaced the one that you traded.
AJ Brown?
That was a dumb decision. I'm just outright saying it.
Yeah.
That was a dumb decision.
Not signing AJ Brown to a long-term deal, not great.
Not great, Bob.
Yeah. But that was a year ago. They, I think that cost John Robinson his job. But now you're bringing DeAndre Hopkins into a team without AJ Brown. It's a different mix. I think, DeAndre Hopkins is a possession receiver alongside a Treylon Burks and a slot receiver of Kyle Phillips. They got something going there. They just really need.
I think the GM that recently came in was like, okay, why did you trade?
Well, the other thing with them.
I don't have a number one wide receiver.
Right, but, a lot of teams get better through the first wave of free agency, the draft. You add some depth pieces late in post-draft free agency.
Yes. Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins is a name that does move the needle for your franchise. And so I think potentially the new Rand Carthon, the new GM of the Titans, was like, we still need to get better.
We still need the number one.
The only way for us to do that at this moment is to.
Yeah.
One aspect we haven't talked about, I think we're both glad that he's not a Chief.
Yes.
And we're both probably pretty happy he's not a Patriot.
Yes.
I'm not sure where else he was tagged on possibly going, but the Titans seem fairly harmless.
Yes.
With or without DeAndre. And yeah, he's a great player.
And
has always been a great player.
In one
Also glad he's not in Cleveland.
One other thing is, okay, you got two mouths to feed. The running back, King Henry, and D-Hop.
I mean, of all the teams to go to, he'll get his share.
How do you...
Because not only does he get first reads, but he also gets,
second,
the
third...
safety valve stuff too. So
yeah, okay.
He'll get plenty open, pushing off and...
Okay.
All right.
But he's a good wide receiver. Now, going into...
I think we've covered DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes. Going into, speaking of King Henry, running backs.
Running backs. I mean, running backs, it's big news in the fact that you have three running backs franchise tag.
One signed his franchise tender.
And that was Tony Pollard. The other two have not signed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have a position that is important to a team. These guys train their whole life, develop their talent.
Yeah.
And then, they feel like they're a significant part of a team, and teams just don't value running backs as much as the running backs value themselves. Obviously, a lot of money going to the quarterback position. There's been a lot of money going to the wide receiver position.
Two positions that need their money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody needs money, but yeah, so I mean, the Raiders did Josh Jacobs dirty. So not giving him his fifth-year option.
Josh McDaniels, what the hell are you doing?
And I mean, you are, as an organization, you already ran off Derek Carr and Darren Waller. Why not just run off Josh Jacobs as well, so he can go do something somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of running backs that come into the league every year. Outside of Adrian Peterson and Derrick Henry, how many have gotten past the 30 years of age?
Well, also run CMC.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit different running back and doesn't fit the normal. But yeah, I mean, he's also the highest paid.
Yeah.
So this doesn't necessarily apply to run CMC, which is funny because the most expensive running back is in the most running back friendly scheme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put your foot in the ground and cut.
Yes. But with the Raiders, what the hell were you thinking?
Yeah, and I really think the running back's next great hope is potentially Bijan Robinson.
Okay.
A lot of hype this year, drafted number 8. If any team is going to pay a running back,
it's Bijan.
Yeah, because I don't think the Steelers are going to pay Najee. The Jags, are they going to pay Travis Etienne?
No.
No other running backs really come to mind that jump off the page at you. So you have a rookie on a rookie deal, number 8.
That puts a lot of pressure on Bijan.
Well, I mean, I think
the second
he's
coming.
I think he's embraced some of that, right?
Yeah, but
if Bijan is significantly better,
top tier.
then if he's elite, then he'll get
everyone's-
paid and he'll pull some people along with him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to pull the entire running back class. But man, if Bijan doesn't get paid in 3 years, forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
We were talking about
That was a terrible jersey. Forget it.
Forget about it. That's better. God.
All right, we good with running backs?
Yes.
Or do we need to.
Yes.
I think Saquon sits out. By the way, what do you think?
I think he does.
He sits out this year. Smart guy from Penn State.
Yeah.
I think
What do you think the Raiders running back does?
For some reason, I think he comes back.
I think he plays with his hair on fire.
Hey, he did a lot of that last year too. All right, let's move on from running backs. Let's close this thing out with one more subject.
So, we were talking about the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? What about the Washington Commanders?
That was quite the segue. I didn't know where you were going with the Cowboys. Now we're talking the Commanders. The sale.
Same division.
Okay.
That's where I was going.
All right.
Same.
Thought it might be related to Dan Snyder having dirt on Jerry Jones.
No.
That's a great segue. Let's get into all of Jerry Jones's shenanigans.
Okay.
How he ripped off people during the deep freeze.
Yeah.
Or let me get to charge extraordinary prices during the deep freeze, but didn't get paid. Didn't want to take it as a loss, so he got his buddy, the governor, to institute it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks.
But we digress.
That's not.
We'll talk
football
about the
related.
Commanders.
Commanders.
The Commanders were sold today.
Commanders were sold.
And in one of the pettiest moves that I have ever seen, the NFL releases their findings from the investigation. And as Daniel Snyder sells the team for $6 billion or $6.5 billion, the NFL taxes him $60 million on the 1% on the way out. Could you be more petty? Like, he's gone. Just let him go. And he is not going to miss $60 million. The NFL is not even going to register $60 million. It is a rounding error in their financials. Why?
I honestly think, I know it's petty, but I'm petty as well. So I get it. So the Commanders were sold. Two things. The owner,
Josh Harris,
and his group owns the 76ers and the New Jersey Devils. Both have made it to the playoffs.
Yep.
I don't think the Commanders make it to the playoffs.
No. I think if you're a Washington Commanders fan, I don't know very many of them, but if you are a Washington Commanders fan, and just like every fan base is glad to get rid of Daniel Snyder. It's a great day for the NFL. Let's not forget about that.
Yes.
I think
you're just happy.
Yeah, you're happy.
You just won the freaking Super Bowl of.
The timing of the sale is not great because there's very limited thing. It's not, the timing of it is not great for the 2023 season.
Well,
like you and I have talked, the 2023 season for the Washington Commanders and their ownership, their new ownership, is somewhat of a wash.
It shouldn't be, though. Because
It's just too late for them to have any significant impact.
it shouldn't be,
We're
though.
recording just this screen. Maybe I can blow it up and do something with it.
Because it shouldn't be, though. Because they they have a better chance at getting a stadium
Well, on the
that
stadium,
actually works.
on the stadium front, that's going to happen. But with the product on the field, no matter what field that is,
Yeah.
the timing is not great because
It's
they can
not.
have limited impact. They're pretty much, ride or die with Ron Rivera in 2023.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you,
so I think this is kind of a let's change the culture year in the office and sort out the details of that
yes.
stadium.
Do you think Riverboat Ron is on the hot seat?
It is going to be very difficult for Ron Rivera to be the head coach of the Washington Commanders in 2024.
Well, here's the thing. Can we say that Bill Belichick's on the hot seat? Yes. Because they haven't made it to the playoffs.
I think the biggest issue is they have Sam Howell.
They're
Changing offenses with Eric Bieniemy coming in.
Yeah.
Chase Young has been injured, hasn't played well. They have some talent in wide receiver. I mean, when you compare their roster against other rosters, especially in their division against the Eagles, how do they get to 9 wins?
No, they don't. But do you think?
And if you're a new ownership, Josh Harris and his team, they're going to come in like the Waltons. They're going to try and do something big. They're going to go ahead and try to right the ship.
Yeah.
Culturally in the front office, and then next year they bring in a GM and head coach duo. I don't know who that'll be.
Well, do you think that's Bieniemy?
I don't. I think
So you think he left the Chiefs for nothing?
Well, I don't know how much the new ownership played in the hiring of Eric Bieniemy,
I don't.
if any at all. I don't know legally if they could have. So unfortunately, I think that Eric Bieniemy is the baby with the bathwater.
What?
He's, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. In this case, I think he's the baby that gets thrown out with the bathwater. So as they fire Ron Rivera, they fire his entire staff. They bring in new.
Okay.
And they
Isn't
start.
that sad though?
Well,
Like
I mean, the really bad part is that Bieniemy left Kansas City for the Commanders
or the Commander.
to show what he could do on his own. But he
And-
doesn't have Patrick Mahomes. He's got Sam Howell.
Yeah.
It's kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Any way you look at it.
Yeah.
But the good news is there is no Daniel Snyder associated with the NFL anymore.
Well, do you think Dan Snyder's happy to finally sell the team?
I think he's got 6 billion reasons to be happy.
Okay. Yeah. I think he's got 6 billion reasons.
Yeah. We've been at this episode about 20 minutes. We said we were going to have it short. We didn't make it very short, did we?
Yes, we didn't.
All right.
So
what do you say?
See you guys later.
Yeah. Do us a favor. Follow us on Twitter at LAC Outside Zone. On this YouTube channel, Chargers Outside Zone.
Please like.
Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Turn on notifications. Share with a friend. And we do have a website, chargersoutsidezone.com. Email us at chargersoutsidezone@gmail.com. And we try to put out videos every Tuesday and Saturday. Obviously, with the season right around the corner, that will become a regular preview, review, the game type situation.
Yes.
And we'll actually have
Content.
NFL football to talk about in the very near future.
Yes.
And with that, we're going to get out of here. Take care. Have a great week.
Bye.